Hey, how you doing? Welcome back to the Freedom Podcast. If you feel like you're working harder, earning more, and somehow still falling behind financially, here's the thing. You're not crazy. You're definitely not lazy. You're not irresponsible. And the big one, you're not bad with money. Okay? Here's the thing though. What you're experiencing is the result of a system that most people, and I say again, most people were never taught to understand. The system is built a certain way. And today I'm going to talk about how money actually feels right now, what we're all experiencing. We're going to talk about inflation. We're going to talk about the Federal Reserve. That's a big one. And we're going to talk about what all of this actually means for real. Okay. People are trying to raise families. People are paying bills. They're trying to build a future. And it's not political. It's definitely not, it doesn't need to be emotional, but I'm going to break it down very clearly because here's the thing. Fear thrives in confusion, and confidence that comes from having that understanding about how all of this works. Okay. So let's get into it. So let's talk about why people feel stuck right now. Everywhere you look, prices are higher. Okay, I remember buying some chicken wings and it was like $10. Now the same chicken wings are $20. Groceries cost more. Insurance costs more. Rent and mortgages cost more. Car payments are higher. Interest rates are higher. Credit cards feel like they are suffocating people. Can't get ahead with those. And the most frustrating part of all of this, many people are doing everything that they were told to do. They're following all of the rules, everything that was laid out. They went to school. They got the jobs. They even worked hard. They tried to save money. Yet somehow the finish line just keeps moving further out. For most people, I don't know about you all, but for me, that's very frustrating. And frustration does not come from failure. It comes from understanding or the lack of understanding the rules of the game. So let's talk about the Federal Reserve and what it actually is. The Federal Reserve, and here it is very clearly, this is important. Most people think the Federal Reserve is just a part of the government. It falls somewhere within the government. It's not. The Federal Reserve is not part of the government. It is the central banking system of the United States. Its job is to manage money and credit that's a part of our economy. So the Federal Reserve has two main goals. And if you're listening, please make sure you understand these. Write them down somewhere. Text them to yourself. To control inflation and maintain employment stability. They do this using, few primary tools. That's the interest rates. That's the control of the money and the money supply. Okay, so interest rates and control of the money and the money supply. That's it. That's their primary job. They don't set grocery prices. They don't set rent. They don't decide your salary. They have nothing to do with any of that. But they do influence every one of those things indirectly, okay? Not directly, but indirectly. And one of the things people are concerned about or interested in is how interest rate actually works. So when the Federal Reserve raised interest rates, borrowing becomes a lot more expensive. I mean, that's kind of common sense, but it's okay. That affects credit cards. That affects auto loans. That's going to affect your home loans. That's going to definitely affect those mortgages, okay? Business loans. I know some people who, when the rates go down, they actually refinance. And the idea is very simple. If borrowing more is expensive, people are going to spend less. If people spend less, that demand is going to go down. If demand starts to cool down and go down, prices stop rising so fast. So that is how inflation is supposed to be controlled. But here's the part most people do not hear. And here, listen to me very clearly. This tool does not hit everyone equally. We're not all equal. Who feels the rate hikes the most? Who do you think feels it the most? Okay. Large institutions, they're going to adapt very quickly. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Big businesses, okay. Your banks, that's your corporations, that's your assets holders. Those people are going to adjust quickly. Your everyday families, they feel it immediately. They get hit with it quick. When rates start to go up, those credit card balances, you feel like you're paying the same amount and it's not moving. That's right, because it becomes harder to escape. First-time home buyers, they're going to get priced out. Those small business that's trying to hire, they're going to hire a lot slower. Families, they're going to delay those big life decisions. This is not a moral judgment, okay? It's a structural reality. The system, unfortunately, responds to capital than it does to labor, to people that's grinding it out. All right, so let's talk about Jerome Powell and what we got going on right now at our current moment. The current chair of the Federal Reserve is Jerome Powell, okay? You can look him up, see his picture, who he is, okay? Not a bad dude. When you hear news headlines about, hikes or pauses, those decisions are being framed as inflation fighting measures. That's what we're told. And in a narrow sense, that is 100% true. But here's the disconnect to all of this. Inflation does not feel like a chart. Unfortunately to us, the average person, it feels like stress. It feels like anxiety. It feels like families cutting back. It feels like people beefing, going back and forth, money going up. Okay, things are getting more expensive. And this is why people feel angry and confused, because they're experiencing the pain without understanding why this mechanism works the way it does. So what is inflation really? What is it? Okay. Inflation is not just prices going up. It's not things going up. Inflation is that silent erosion of your dollars, the purchasing power of you having the same money. Okay. It means your money buys less than it used to. So if your income goes up by 3%, but let's say inflation goes up by 4% and it's running higher than you're getting, it's moving faster than what you're making. You've moved actually backwards. If your savings are sitting in an account earning 1 or 2% and the inflation is higher than that, you're losing value every year. So that inflation is quietly, taken away. It's predictably taken away. It's relentlessly taken it away. And this is why people feel like they're running on a treadmill, just moving, but not getting anywhere. So here's the thing. That's why savings alone no longer works. Okay. For generations, people were taught one core idea, and that was save your money and you'll be fine. Everything's going to work out. That advice at the time, that was not wrong. And it's not wrong right now. It's just incomplete. In a low inflation environment, saving is going to protect you. It's going to protect your money. Unfortunately, in a higher inflation environment, saving without strategy becomes a slow leak. Like that tire on a vehicle, get that nail in, it's just going to leak out. This is not about taking reckless risk. This is about understanding where your money lives and actually how it behaves. Okay. So this is the big one. Money is either sitting, just sitting, doing nothing, or it's moving. Sitting, moving. There's another one I want you to think about. Or it's actually working for you. Most people were never taught to ask that question. The real problem, is not more money. The real problem, you know what I'm gonna say, is financial illiteracy. The real issue is not inflation. The real issue is illiteracy, not understanding money. People are handed adult responsibilities every day. 17 hit 18, you got all this time to adult, and they have no financial instruction manual. We teach people what? Get a job. We rarely teach people how money actually functions once they get paid. What is this FICA over here? What is this SS? What is this money I'm paying out to people? So when the system shifts, people start to panic. Not because the world is ending, but because they were never taught how to adult the right way, which is adapt to things. So I'll give you all this data, but what can you do about it right now? What's the point of all this? Let's talk about control. Okay, here's the thing. You cannot control the Federal Reserve. You cannot control inflation data. You can't control interest rate policy. Okay, but you can control awareness. That's something you have 100% control over. You can control understanding where your money is sitting right now. Is it in a bank, credit union? Is it being invested? You can control reducing your exposure to high interest debt, those credit cards that you may not need. You can learn the difference between consumption and strategy. It's not hard to do. It's right here on the podcast episodes. One big one, you can stop blaming yourself for not knowing what you were never taught. And a big one is stop blaming other people and get that knowledge, because knowledge changes behavior. Behavior changes the outcome. So why does all this matter in the long run? Okay. Every economic shift exposes the same truth. Every one of them. Those who understand the system, they're going to make adjustments because things are going to change. Those who do not, they feel like they're getting punished. They feel like they're getting beat up. And financial literacy is no longer an option. Okay. It's not optional. It's not about being rich. It's about being resilient. It's about calm decisions, making in uncertain times. So I will close with this, okay? And let me leave you with this. Take a deep breath, because I know I hit you with a lot. The system, no matter how you feel, is not broken. It's just not being explained to you. Once you understand how money moves, that fear loses its grip. It goes away. Confidence grows. Clarity is going to replace all of that anxiety that you feel. That's what we're building here at Higher Ground Financial Freedom. Not hype, not fear, not no sales pitch. It's all about understanding, okay? So if this episode helps you see things clearly, share it with somebody else who feels overwhelmed by what's going on right now. I hope you have a great day. God bless. And also do me a favor, subscribe, okay? Let's build this thing together. And remember this. You do not need more motivation. You don't even need more money. You need more understanding. I hope this helps, and let's continue to get that financial freedom. God bless and take care.